Are you having a hard time figuring out what to get Dad for Father's Day? Shop now at sportshistorynetwork.com/row1 and save 15% off your order when you check out Row 1 Brand's Vintage Sports Pictorium Gallery. They have America's best sports art. With over 7,200 historic sports prints, you're assured to find something unique for Dad this Father's Day. If he's an NFL buff, check out the 1963 vintage NFL helmet poster. Shop now at sportshistorynetwork.com/row1.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Yesterday's Sports on the Sports History Network. Most of us who follow sports have a favorite team. In baseball, my favorite team was always the New York Yankees. Having grown up only about 20 miles from the house that Ruth built, it's only natural that I would root for the Yankees. But I don't think I'm too far out of line when I say that many of us also have a second favorite team, or a team that we secretly root for. For me, that team was the St. Louis Cardinals. Why the Cardinals? Well, I guess the main reason is that they had a lot of players I liked. I was always a very big fan of pitcher Bob Gibson and left fielder Lou Brock. They also had the versatile Joe Torre, who could play third base, first base, and catcher. Years later, Joe would lead my Yankees to 6 American League Pennants and 4 World Series trophies. The Cardinals had so many great players throughout the years, dating back to the 1920s, when infielder Rogers Hornsby won the Triple Crown and the MVP in 1922, and he repeated that feat in 1925. In 1934, pitcher Dizzy Dean won the MVP. During the 1940s, outfielder Stan the Man Musial won the league MVP 3 times, 1943, 1946, and again in 1948. First baseman Orlando Cepeda won the MVP in 1967. And the following year, pitcher Bob Gibson had one of the most dominating seasons in Major League Baseball history. He won 22 games and had an ERA of 1.12. For his efforts, he earned the Cy Young Award and the MVP. He was also voted MVP in the World Series, even though his team lost 4-3. The 1970s saw 2 more St. Louis players gain MVP honors. In 1971, Joe Torre won the award, and in 1979, first baseman Keith Hernandez shared the award with Willie Stargell of the Pirates. 6 years later, in 1985, outfielder Willie McGee won the MVP. From 2001 to 2009, first baseman Albert Pujols won the MVP award 4 times, 2001, 2005, 2008, and 2009. Pitcher Chris Carpenter won the Cy Young Award in 2005. That's just a partial list of the awards won by Cardinals players. Another reason I liked the Cardinals was their uniform. I always had a little bit of a fascination with birds, and the cardinal was always my favorite bird. I always thought that jersey with the 2 cardinals sitting on the opposite ends of the baseball bat was the best looking jersey in the major leagues. A third reason I liked the Cardinals was that it was the name of the first Little League team I played on. As most baseball fans know, no team has won as many pennants and World Series as the New York Yankees. But what many fans might not know is that the Cardinals have won the second most pennants with 23 and World Series victories with 11. The Cardinals have played the Yankees 5 times in the World Series: 1926, 1928, 1942, 1943, and 1964, and have won 3 of those 5 series. The Cardinals dominated between 1926 and 1934, winning 5 pennants and 3 World Series. That's even better than the Yankees, who won 4 pennants and 3 World Series during that same period. From 1925 to 1953, St. Louis suffered only 2 losing seasons and won 9 pennants and 6 World Series. Then, after a 17-year drought, the Cardinals won the World Series in 1964 and again in 1967. They lost a hard-fought World Series to the Detroit Tigers 4-3 in 1968. After another 13-year drought, St. Louis won another World Series trophy in 1982. They made it to the World Series again in 1985 and 1987, but lost both of those series 4-3. Between 1988 and 2003, the Cardinals made 4 playoff appearances, but did not reach the World Series again until 2004, when they were swept in 4 games by the Boston Red Sox. But 2 years later, they won their 10th World Series trophy, and in 2011, they won their 11th. Although they lost the series in 2013, they did win their 23rd National League Pennant. From 2014 to 2021, the Cardinals have reached the playoffs 5 times, and they have not had a losing season since 2007. It's only a matter of time before the second most successful franchise in Major League Baseball history wins another World Series trophy to add to their collection. That concludes our podcast. Hope you enjoyed it, and God bless.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
We here at the Sports History Network proudly partner with 26 podcasts, all revolving around the history of sports. But did you know that many of our hosts were sports history authors way before they started their shows? It's true. We've got Joe Ziemba, host of When Football Was Football, Joe Zagurski, host of Pro Football in the 1970s, Mark Morthier, host of Yesterday's Sports, Tommy Phillips, host of Lombardi Memories, and Scott Adamson, co-host of From the 55-Yard Line. All these authors have many books for you to choose from. To check them out, go to our website at sportshistorynetwork.com/sportshistorybooks. Pick up your copy today. Soundtrack provided by Kevin MacLeod of filmmusic.io.